الآن.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our MISAT Bulletin. And we shall start with our headlines. Powerful earthquake on Iran-Iraq border kills over 350. Southeast Asia nations to start talks with China on sea code. And moving on to our details, starting with Tehran-Baghdad's quake. A powerful 7.3 magnitude earthquake near the Iraq-Iran border killed over 350 people across both countries, sent residents fleeing their homes into the night, and was felt as far away as the Mediterranean coast. Iran's western Kermanshah province bore the brunt of the tremor on Sunday night, with authorities saying the quake killed 348 people in the country and injured 6,603. Meanwhile, in Iraq, the earthquake killed at least 7 people and injured 535, all in the country's northern Kurdish region, according to Iraq's Interior Ministry. The quake was centered 19 miles outside the eastern Iraqi city of Halbaja, and it struck at 9:48 p.m. Iran time. Additionally, Iran's President Hassan Rouhani is scheduled to tour earthquake-damaged areas on Tuesday. Moreover, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei offered his condolences on Monday morning and urged rescuers and government agencies to do all they could to help those affected. In addition, Iranian media said at least 14 provinces in Iran had been affected by the earthquake, while a spokesman for the country's crisis management headquarters said that casualty figures stood at 348 killed and 6,603 injured. From another perspective, in Iraq, Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi issued a directive for the country's civil defense teams and related institutions to respond to the natural disaster. In relation to the context, Turkey dispatched emergency aid to northern Iraq as officials expressed their deep sadness at the tragedy. Turkish Prime Minister said his country took immediate action to provide medical and food aid to northern Iraq. In addition, Turkish Red Crescent's vice president said the 33 aid trucks were en route to the northern Iraqi city of Sulaymaniyah, carrying tents, heaters, beds, blankets, and food. Ankara also said it would help Iran if Tehran requests assistance. Meanwhile, Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said his country stands with the region in difficult times and wished the Iraqi and Iranian people a speedy recovery. And going to Sanaa's crisis, Saudi Arabia announced on Monday that the Saudi-led coalition fighting Shiite rebels in Yemen will begin reopening airports and seaports in the country. Yemen's internationally recognized government said the first step in this process will be taken within 24 hours and involves reopening all the ports in areas controlled by. It's worth mentioning that those ports are in Yemeni cities of Aden, Mutsha, and Mukalla. For ports in rebel-held or disputed territories, the mission said it has asked the UN to send a team of experts to discuss ways to make sure weapons can't be smuggled in. On the other side of the world, leaders of Southeast Asian countries and China agreed on Monday to begin negotiations on a code of conduct aimed at controlling aggressive actions in the disputed South China Sea. Leaders from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations will also sign an accord protecting migrant workers coming from poorer countries in the region during a 2-day summit that opened on Monday in Manila, according to what Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte said. The Department of Foreign Affairs spokesman said China and the 10 ASEAN countries agreed to start negotiations on the code of conduct and would issue a statement later with more details. And going to our economic news, the European Union countries on Monday officially launched a new era in defense cooperation with a program of joint military investment and project development aimed at helping the EU confront its security challenges. 23 of the EU's 28 member nations signed up to the process known as Permanent Structured Cooperation or PESCO. However, Britain, which is leaving the EU in 2019, and Denmark, with a defence opt-out, were among those not taking part. EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini described it as a historic moment in European defence and added that 23 member states engaging both on capabilities and on operational steps is something big. And finally, global stocks fell on Monday as investors became more cautious after several market indexes hit record highs in the past week. London's FTSE 100 fell 0.2% to 7,418 amid concerns as Brexit talks failed to progress. France CAC 40 was 0.9% lower at 5,332, and Germany's DAX shed 0.8% to 13,017. On Wall Street, futures for the Dow Jones Industrial Average and Standard & Poor's 500 Index, which hit a record last week, were both down 0.3%. Moreover, the Shanghai Composite Index rose 0.3% to 3,447.84, while Tokyo's Nikkei 225 fell 1.3% to 22,380.99. And before ending our news, let's take another look at the most important headlines for today. Powerful earthquake on Iran-Iraq border kills over 350. Southeast Asia nations to start talks with China on sea codes. And we reach the end of our MISAT bulletin for today. Thank you for joining us and see you tomorrow in a new bulletin.